Welcome to Leadership in Risk Management, Proactive Risk Communication to Regulators. Proactive risk communication lies at the heart of modern pharmacovigilance practices, serving as a critical link between pharmaceutical companies and regulatory authorities. This approach emphasizes the forecast and early dissemination of risk information, moving beyond a reactive stance to anticipate potential safety concerns before they escalate into public health crises. Understanding risk assessment. Risk assessment is the foundation of pharmacovigilance and involves a systemic process to identify, evaluate, and mitigate potential safety concerns. Effective risk assessment requires a multidimensional approach that incorporates clinical trial data, real-world evidence from post-marketing surveillance, and adverse event reporting. Some steps are identifying safety concerns, analyzing clinical trial data, analyzing real-world evidence, verifying causality, identifying at-risk groups, and developing mitigation measures. Example, after a COVID-19 vaccine rollout, cases of rare blood clotting disorders were identified. Risk assessment requiring analyzing clinical trial data and real-world findings to verify causality, identifying at-risk patient groups, and developing mitigation measures like updated guidelines for usage in specific populations. An advanced tip. Using advanced signal detection methodologies such as disproportionality analysis and data mining algorithms to uncover hidden safety signals in large data sets. Tailoring communication strategies. Effective communication strategies depend on creating messages that are aligned with the requirements and expectations of regulatory authorities. This requires selecting the right tone, medium, and content format based on the situation and audience. How to tailor communication strategies for regulatory alignment. Using graphical presentations, developing risk management plans, and incorporating plain language summaries. Enhanced tactical suggestions. Using graphical representations such as Kaplan-Meier curves or forest plots to visually represent risk-benefit evaluations. Incorporating plain language summaries for enhanced transparency, especially when dealing with non-technical stakeholders or when issuing public risk communications. Case study. During the marketing of an oncology drug, new evidence suggested an increased risk of peripheral neuropathy. The marketing authorization holder preemptively issued a risk management plan to the EMA, including patient monitoring recommendations and collection of real-world data to evaluate long-term risk. Digital transformations in risk communication. The advent of digital tools and platforms has transformed how stakeholders communicate about risk. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud-based dashboards allowed stakeholders to streamline data sharing and improve signal prioritization. Notable advances: automated signals via platforms such as Vigilance and FAIRS, AI-assisted natural language processing to sift through millions of adverse event reports for anomalies, real-time dashboards that graphically present risk trends for both regulators and internal pharmacovigilance teams. Some steps include stakeholder communication, data sharing tools, AI and NLP applied, real-time dashboards present. Cross-border regulatory challenges. Pharmaceutical products are distributed internationally, leading to varied requirements across different regions. Navigating these regulatory landscapes demands strong coordination and understanding of global guidelines. Some critical issues. Country-specific formats for safety report submissions, example SUSARs in the EU versus MedWatch in the US. The need for translations and cultural considerations when responding to regulators in non-English speaking countries. Varying timelines for safety updates such as expedited reporting for safety adverse events. Artificial intelligence in pharmacovigilance. AI is playing an increasingly important role in enabling rapid and accurate decision making. Though natural language processing, image recognition, and predictive algorithms, AI can streamline communication and enhance regulatory confidence. Application: predicting adverse drug reactions through machine learning models, auto-generating risk communication drafts that are later validated by pharmacovigilance experts, prioritizing critical safety signals for immediate attention, thereby expediting decision making. Engaging stakeholders. Stakeholder alignment, including regulators, healthcare professionals, and patients, ensures seamless communications. Building trust and cultivating effective relationships can lead to smoother regulatory approval processes. Some best practices would include hosting regular meetings with regulatory authorities to discuss safety concerns proactively, preemptively sharing draft materials, example PSURs, for feedback before formal submissions. Regulatory compliance. Regulatory oversight varies globally and staying compliant is non-negotiable. Delays, incomplete submissions, or non-adherence to local guidelines can result in penalties, loss of market access, or legal actions from patients and governments. Example, the MHRA in the UK mandates that risk information be accessible to both regulators and the public. A failure to provide updated guidance on product usage during a safety issue could result in reputational and legal consequences. Real-time risk management. Real-time updates are achievable through modern pharmacovigilance technologies like cloud-based reporting systems and APIs that provide seamless data flow between stakeholders. Practical tools. Utilizing MEDRA adverse event coding to standardize signal identification. Deploying pharmacovigilance databases such as Vigibase to compare regional safety signals in global markets. Public health and trust. Proactively addressing risks help retain public confidence in pharmaceutical products. The speed and accuracy of communication plays major roles in maintaining trust during crises. Case in point, various vaccine manufacturers provided weekly updates during the COVID-19 vaccine rollout, reassuring regulators and the public about vaccine safety, refinement, and efficacy.